Hello. Happy Thursday, and welcome to the How to Create and Achieve Your Monthly Revenue Goals. So there's a chat box below, you guys. If you have any questions, you can feel free to pop those in and I'll answer them as we go along throughout the Worklab. And there'll be a Q&A session at the end as well. So if you are just joining in, just go ahead and type in the chat box below to let me know that you can hear me, and just let me know where you're tuning in from me so I can know who's broadcasting live with me. Gonna go ahead and get ready to share my screen in a second, but I'll let a few people hop in. So if you are just tuning in, I am Shatoya Antwine. I am the creator of Creative Collab. In the chat box and let me know where you are tuning in from. I am here in Atlanta. Anybody tuning in from Atlanta? I'll go ahead and get started and share my screen in 1 second. Just want to make sure we allow enough people to get in and join with us.
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments. This is ridiculous.
Right. All right, so we have Diamond's here. Hey, Diamond. Kim is in. Hey, Brittany. Austin, Texas. Awesome. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys so we can go ahead and get started. Can you guys see my screen? Kimberly's tuning in from DC. Hey, Kimberly. Diamonds in Chicago. Brittany's in Raleigh. Awesome, awesome. Well, I am going to go ahead and get started. I don't want to hold you guys too long. We got a lot to go through. So welcome to How to Create and Achieve Your Monthly Revenue Goals. For those who don't know me, I am Shatoya. I'm the creator of Creative Collab, which is an exclusive learning experience that provides entrepreneurs and creatives the opportunity to accomplish more in a co-working community than individually. So what does that all mean? So I basically help entrepreneurs and creatives build successful and profitable businesses through an online curriculum. So in addition to that, I love helping entrepreneurs, which is why I have created this platform. A lot of people know me as being like a planning guru. I don't call myself that, but planning is my life. So if you guys follow me on Snapchat or Instagram stories, you will see that I have sticky notes all over my office, on my wall, like planning, sticky notes, all of that. I am very so much into strategizing and planning and making sure that I am able to execute all of my goals that I set out for myself. So I say, I guess numbers is my jam, and I only say that because my background is finance and accounting. So I have my bachelor's in finance and my master's in accounting. And my motto is to the top we go. So if you follow me on social media, you'll see that I use that very often. And basically what that means is like I am on the road to achieve my highest level of success, but I am also very passionate about being able to help others achieve their highest level of success as well. So I always say, like, to the top we go. So it's not just me trying to reach the success, up the success ladder. I'm trying to pull as many people up as I can. Hey Kylie's. I have been featured in the Chicago Defender, Michigan Chronicle, Empire Life Mag, on Speaker, Black Enterprise, Pink Magazine, Made Magazine, and Fox 2 Detroit. So those are just a few. I have done a ton of podcast interviews as well as guest blogging, guest features, and interviews as well. So that is who I am. So how did I get here? So I thought that I could tackle this entrepreneurship journey all alone until I realized that I could not. So it finally hit me as far as me realizing that I did not have a blueprint. I was literally researching and figuring everything out on my own, spending countless hours upon hours upon hours trying to get this whole entrepreneurship thing down pat. I also realized that I didn't have a community of like-minded individuals that I was surrounded around. I didn't have anyone that I can bounce ideas off of. I lacked a mastermind group, and I didn't have a mentor. So I figured that something had to change because I knew that I couldn't achieve my level of success that I wanted trying to tackle entrepreneurship alone. And I always say, like, you cannot soar throughout your entrepreneurship journey alone. That's the purpose of me creating this community. So I started hosting a monthly signature co-working event in 2015. And I say that's where the magic happened, because within that, the impact that I had just through a co-working event, I decided to turn it into its own brand. So a signature co-working event has now turned into Creative Collab. So everything that I was missing as far as a community, like-minded individuals, a support system, somebody to push me to higher heights, that is all within the co-working community of Creative Collab. So I didn't want to wait until someone else figured out a solution to my problem. I decided to fix my own problem. So when people ask me how did Creative Collab start, it basically started from me being able to fill a void, because I know that if I felt that way, I wasn't the only entrepreneur who felt that way. And I say that it's the best fear that I have tackled thus far, because when I was thinking of this whole idea and platform for Creative Collab, at the time, like, co-working wasn't super popular at the time. I didn't think that people would even want to attend the event. And just me stepping out on faith and putting fear aside, I had hosted Creative Co-working, which was a signature event in Detroit, Atlanta, and Chicago, with over 200 registrants and a numerous amount of sold out events. So I'm super excited to have this platform and to be able to help entrepreneurs soar throughout their journey. So Creative Collab, as I said, is an online institute and co-working community for entrepreneurs and creatives. So the focus of the curriculum is business, mindset, and self-care, and of course, money, which is what we will be talking about today. So as far as the community access, within the members-only community, they have access to monthly virtual Worklab. So I have industry experts that come in. We had Aisha, who's a lawyer. She came in the other week to talk about trademarking. Natalie of Strategist Cafe will be teaching for March on passive income. So there's a whole list of work labs for 2017. We have mastermind sessions, a book study club, live chat discussions. They get digital products free each month. I host live office hours on a monthly basis. So we did that yesterday. So it's basically an hour of you being able to pick my brain, you being able to answer any questions that you may have, anything that you're struggling with in your business. Like, it's literally live office hours with me one-on-one. Everyone is assigned an accountability partner, and they have access to annual retreats. So to get into the curriculum for today. So is this you? So have you created a creative business, product or service, but you aren't making any money? You are super great at what you do, but no one knows who you are or where to find you. You have an idea as far as creating revenue goals, you have no idea how to create revenue goals that actually work. You struggle to meet your revenue goals on a consistent basis. You have created free content, but it's not converting overpaying customers. You are completely lost with this whole money and profitability thing. So my goal for today is to be able to help you to create and achieve your revenue goals consistently on a monthly basis so that you can remain on track for sustaining a profitable business. So what will you learn today? The 7 steps to create, track, and achieve your monthly revenue goals. So we will go over the first step, making sure that you stop overthinking this whole process, and we'll go into a little bit more detail about that. Determining your revenue goals, how to reach your revenue goals, how to get people to buy, your launch strategy, how to track your progress, and tools to properly execute your revenue goals. So first things first. So you have to stop overthinking this. So I know a lot of times people feel that, oh, I don't have a huge email list. You don't need a huge email list to be profitable. You can be profitable with a small email list. So here's the thing. So I'll put out an example. So 3 examples. So let's say that your email list is only 200 people. And let's say you are trying to sell a product that is only $47. So you're going to need 50 people to purchase this product in order for you to be able to reach your revenue goal of $2,350. So let's say that your email list is only 500 people on it, and you're selling a product of $67. You only need 75 people out of that 500 list in order to make $5,000. And let's say that your list is 1,000 subscribers and you're trying to sell a product that is priced at $97. Out of those 1,000 people, all you need is 100 people to make almost $10,000. So don't feel that you have to have a ton of followers on social media or you have to have this huge email list. Like, you can literally start where you are. So work with what you have. Don't be discouraged if you have a small list. We'll go into a little bit detail as far as helping you to be able to build your email list, because that is where one of your top marketing strategies should be. So I know a lot of times people just want to post on social media, which is perfectly fine. But the key is to be able to get direct contact with them. So that's making sure that you have their email list. Once you send an email, you know that they have received it because it's going directly to their inbox. When you're posting on social media and you're just posting, and with the new algorithms that are in place now, just because someone is following you doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to see your content. So that's why it's so key for you to be able to work on building your email list. So work with what you have. Make sure that you are utilizing what you already have. So stop trying to, go out and, find thousands of subscribers or download these apps where you're buying followers, which is not something that's organic and that's not going to increase your income. And make sure that you are converting your current subscribers who are already loyal to your email list, and you can convert them over to buyers. So start engaging with them, and that'll help you to be able to convert them over to buyers. And we'll go into detail about that as well. So first step, just know that you already have this. Like, you got this. Whatever your email list is, don't be discouraged about it. If you feel that it's too small, we're going to go into detail as far as how to build your email list. So the next step is making sure that you have determined what your revenue goal is. So you have to make sure that you are being realistic. So let's say that last year, what are we in, 2017? So 2016, your revenue, so your profits were only $3,000. And then this year you say, I want to make 6 figures. That's not really realistic. It can happen. You're going to have to work like a million times as hard as you did last year because you didn't even make half the amount that you wanted to make the prior year. So make sure that you're being realistic and start small, which is always great. So that way you're able to still work towards exceeding your goal. So make sure that you're realistic, figure out what your revenue goal is going to be on an annual basis. And you can kind of think of it as if you're looking to transition from your 9 to 5 into entrepreneurship full time, do you want to replace your current corporate income with your entrepreneurship income or your business income? So kind of think in terms of that. Let's say if you just want to start with the goal of splitting whatever your current salary is in half, or whatever your monthly goals or expenses are, to at least be able to cover that. So just make sure that you're being realistic and not setting these 6-figure and $1 million goals if you haven't put in the work to achieve them, at least over the course of the last 12 months. So once you have figured out what your annual revenue goal is going to be, we're going to break it down. So let's say I'll use the goal of 6 figures. So for, depending on your business, this number may be different. So I'm just using this as an example. So let's say 2017, you want to make $100,000. Great. So you have to break that down to quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily. And I say that because a lot of times people will set these goals, whether they're high or realistic, and then the end of the year comes and they're trying to figure out why they didn't achieve them. And it's because you didn't know what you needed to do on a quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily basis. So write down what your annual goal is and then break that down into quarters. So obviously you're going to divide it by 4. Then to find your monthly, you're dividing your annual by 12, your weekly by 52 weeks, and your daily by 365 days. So that's your total breakdown. So how will you reach your goal? So you need to determine what products and services you're going to be offering. And in order to do that, I always recommend that you ask your audience what they need help with, because I know sometimes we have these grand ideas and they may be great products and services, but you have to make sure that it's what your audience actually needs at the time. So I feel like that's one thing where people kind of fail as not meeting their income or their revenue goals, and it's because you're putting things out that your audience don't need at the time. So in order to figure out what they need help with, you're going to pick your top 3 platforms. So figure out what your top 3 platforms are, and you're going to reach out to your audience and ask them what it is that they need help with. So some options are, you can do a poll on Twitter. So Twitter is one of your top platforms. You can do a poll on Twitter asking them what exactly they need help with. You can give them options so that way they have something to choose from. And you can do polls in your own Facebook group or other Facebook groups as well. So I have a Facebook group, which is Creative Collab Community. If you want to tap into my platform and figure out what it is that they are struggling with, if some of them are your ideal client, you can feel free to do that. Another option is to email a survey out. So you can create a survey and send it out to your subscribers or your email list. You can also create a survey and post it in Facebook groups. So earlier this year or late last year, I did a survey just trying to figure out what was working for my community, what they like to see more of, what wasn't working. And I just pinned it to my Facebook group. So that way, even if new members came in, that's the first thing that they saw. So think about sending surveys out. Another thing you can do is host a live Facebook Q&A. So that way you have live interaction with them, and you're literally just going back and forth, answering their questions, digging deep and figuring out what it is that they're struggling with. So let's say that you're a goal setting coach. So I'll give you guys an example as far as like strategy for trying to figure this out. So you're a goal setting coach and you're trying to figure out what your audience needs help with. So let's say you've done your poll and they need help with being consistent, with building habits, and managing time. Okay, great. That's a good start. So we're going to move forward to figure out why they are struggling with this. So why are they struggling? Because they have difficulty with planning. They lack self-discipline. They don't have any accountability or no accountability partners, and they feel that it's not enough time in a day. So we're going to go a little bit deeper and figure out what their pain points are. And it's very important to figure out pain points, because this is where like the emotional tense comes in, and that's where people are more relatable to. So what are their pain points? Like when they have these struggles, like what's their fear? Like what's holding them back? Like what's their feeling for not accomplishing what they're trying to accomplish. So for this specific example, it can be that they are feeling unsuccessful. They have the fear of success, the fear of failure. They feel like they can't get anything done. They feel like they're working so hard and, they're checking things off their to-do list, but they don't feel like they're seeing results. Or it could be that they are, tired of seeing others soar throughout their success ladder, and they're just trying to figure out why they're struggling so much. So it could be a comparison thing. So now you've literally dig deep and figured out what they're struggling with, why they're struggling with, and that's going to be able to help you to determine your products and services. And then once you create your sales page and your descriptions on your website, you can kind of use these pain points to talk to your target audience. So you know exactly what it is that they're struggling with. So now you're able to kind of get in their head and speak to exactly what it is that they need help with. So next we're going to move on to figuring out what your pricing structure is. So depending on your business, you can either have a low, medium, and high pricing structure, or you can have a low, medium, high, and premium structure. So a low pricing structure is pretty much anything that's informational. So it can be free content that you're posting on your blog posts. It can be digital products. It can be checklists. It can be like e-guides or ebooks. So those are things that are low value as far as your pricing structure goes. As far as a medium level product, so that's kind of like a show me how. So teach me how to do this. So it can be a masterclass, it can be a Worklab, it can be a workshop. So it's going a little bit more into detail as far as hey, here's a digital product. You can kind of read this and figure it out on your own. So a medium level would be teaching you how to actually do something. So a high level product is something that's done with you, and the next level is done for you. So with a high level product, it can be an online course, it can be group coaching. So literally it's something that you are working with hand in hand with your customer, client, target audience, or whoever. So your premium is going to be done for you. So you're literally doing the work for them. So premium would be one-on-one coaching. If you're a graphic designer, premium could be you're building a website for someone. So you're literally just doing the work for them. They're paying you, you're getting it done. It can be creating a logo. So anything that you're literally doing something for them, you're taking all of the stress away from them and literally giving them the blueprints of what it is that they need to be doing. So those are the 3 to 4 pricing structures that you can use. So let's say if we're still using our 6-figure goal as far as trying to reach $100,000 in 1 year. So here are some pricing examples. So let's say your low item is going to be a digital product and you can price it at $29. So anything that's low, you can range it anywhere between free to $50 is good. Those are low price items. So if you're doing medium level, let's say you want to do a master class and it'll be $97. So when I do my master classes, they are $97 and they are up to 4 hours long. So for example, like what we're doing today, this could potentially be a low price item. It's free, but I can also sell it as well. Just because it's free content doesn't mean that it's not valuable content. So if I were to do a master class, it could be priced at $97. I can do a master class at $197. So those are kind of medium level prices. On a higher end, it can be a course or group coaching. So let's say I were to do a 12-week online course that could be priced at $497. It's going to be a bit higher. Why? Because you're working in 12 weeks of content. And then premium coaching, if you're working with someone one-on-one, let's say for 3 months or 6 months, obviously that's going to be a higher price point and you can price it at $2,400. So that's giving you an example of the pricing tiers. So next we need to figure out how much of each of these products and services do we need to sell. So I just picked 3 product prices and 3 service item prices. Ooh. So let's say we have product A, which is at 29, we have product B at 97, and product C is 197. So we have low, medium, and high. And for service, we have low, medium, and high as well. We'll do 97, 497, and 2400. 2400 could be more premium. So you have a goal to reach $100,000 this year. You need to figure out how many of each of these items do you need to sell. So in order to reach your revenue goal for the year, you need to sell 65 of product A, you need to sell 50 of product B, and 75 of product C. So over 12 months, you will have accumulated a little over $21,000 just in product revenue. Now, if you are service-based, an option could be you have to sell 150 of service A, 60 of service B. You have to get 15 coaching clients in 12 months in order to reach your goal for $36,000 if you have it priced at $2,400. So if you add up your total product revenue and your total service revenue, you're going to get your total annual revenue of a little over $100,000. So that's how you're going to reach your six-figure goal. So now this is just annual. So remember, we had to break it down to monthly, quarterly, weekly, and daily. So you're going to break those numbers down until you get how many you need to get on a daily basis, weekly basis, quarterly, and monthly. So it doesn't stop there. So let's say your goal for the month is $8,334. So you are pricing your item at $97. So you need to get 86 people in 1 month to purchase this $97 product. So great, 86 people. Where are these 86 people going to come from? They're going to come from your email list, but you need to figure out what your conversion rate is. So out of your total email subscribers, how many do you need to convert over to buyers? So let's say that you have previously launched a product or service and it was priced at $100 and only 3 people purchased it. So that makes your conversion ratio or your conversion rate 3%, which is fine. So 2, 3, 4% are good conversion rates. There is no such thing as a bad rate. It just depends on how many subscribers you have, or if you're doing your conversion rate based off of how many page views that you have on your website, and when you launch something, how many people have actually purchased that item in comparison to how many people view your website. So there's no such thing as a bad or a not so good conversion ratio, but you do need to figure out what yours is. So let's say for this example, it is 3%. So you already know what your revenue goal is for the month. You know that your conversion is 3%, and you know that your item is priced at $97. So how many subscribers do you need to get on your list in order for you to be able to convert over 86 people? So in order for you to be able to convert over 86 people, you need 2,864 subscribers on your list. And of those subscribers, you are going to convert over 86 to paid buyers so that you can reach your monthly revenue goal. Now, keep in mind that for this example, it's $100,000. So if you only need to make $10,000 or $5,000 or $3,000, your number is going to be drastically smaller, which is fine. So this is why I tell you guys that it doesn't matter like how many people that you have on your email list or how many people are following you on social media. Your goal is to be able to convert your subscribers over to buyers. So how will you get people to buy? So you've created these great products. Now they need to purchase them, right? So I always say that people feel before they buy. So just because you're launching something great doesn't mean that people are going to buy it. So you have to be able to build relationships with your potential subscribers or your potential clients or buyers. So in order to do that, you have to first be able to, yes, you can access the PowerPoint later. So it'll be up for the next 24 hours. Super helpful. Great. If you have any questions, I can see the chat, so just kind of stop me and I'll answer them as we go along. So you have to build relationships, and in order to do that, you have to be able to give out valuable free content. And I know sometimes people struggle saying that, well, I don't want to give out my good paid content as free content. Well, you have to be able to allow people to build trust with you. So you have to be able to give out paid stuff. So like the information that I'm giving you guys today, like I can sell this for a $97 masterclass. Obviously, I would add a little bit more content to it, but just because it's free doesn't mean that it's not valuable. So make sure that you guys keep that in mind. So if you have to build relationships, so you're going to put out free content. You have to build your email list. You have to be able to identify what lead magnets you're going to use, as well as what free content upgrades that you're going to use. So when I say free content upgrades, so if you guys go on my blog, some of my recent posts have free content upgrades. So I'll make a post about 7 hustle hacks to success. So then I'll provide a free workbook so that they can download it, use it, and in exchange for me providing them with valuable content, I now have their email address. So when I am doing selling or marketing or just, want to put out more content to provide to them, just to kind of build that relationship more, I have their contact information or their email address. So those are some examples of free content upgrades. Another example is I just recently launched the Success and Action Planner. So before I launched it, so it's 32 pages. I think I took maybe like 5 or 6 pages out of that, and I put it as a success and action planning kit. So I'm kind of giving people an idea of what the actual planner looks like. So that way I'm not just popping in your email box like, hey, I'm selling a success and action planner, you should buy it. And you have no idea how this product is going to help you. But if I've given you a snippet of it, now you kind of feel more comfortable with purchasing from me because you've seen the value of the content that I'm able to provide. So lead magnets and freebies. So you have to figure out which ones you're going to use depending on what you're launching. So you can use ebooks, you can do e-guides. So my opt-in on my website is e-guide, is an e-guide. You can do checklists, you can do webinars. Email challenges are great. You can do a 3-day email challenge. You can do 5 days, 7, 14, 21. All depends on what the content is that you're putting out. Another example as a lead magnet is doing live streaming. So you can do Facebook Live, you can do Instagram Live, or I've done Periscope series before. So you're literally just picking topics that you're going to discuss, whether it's on a daily or weekly basis, bi-weekly basis. That way you're able to put out content and build relationships with your audience. So let's say you do coaching. You can't just pop in someone's email box and pitch them for a $3,000 coaching package, and they have no idea what you're capable of doing. But if you are doing live streaming on Facebook, Instagram, or Periscope, people can kind of see what strategies you may put out, how you talk, if the content that you're putting out is even helpful for them. It just helps them to be able to build more trust in you, kind of get a better gauge for whether you're a great fit for them or not. You can do YouTube tutorials. Video content is very popular for 2017, as well as Pinterest. Another lead magnet could be blog posts and blog post content upgrades. So I kind of gave an example of that one already. So now you have to figure out what your launch strategy is. So if you've just been creating these dope products and services and you think that you're going to post it on Instagram and Facebook and one post on Twitter, and then you feel like you've launched and all you hear is crickets, like that's not a launch strategy. You have to do more than just post once or twice on social media and hope that people buy or visit your website. Like just because you put out something great doesn't mean that people are like literally going to magically find your website and say, oh, I think I need this and purchase it. You have to market your own product and services and build those relationships with your audience. So here is an example of launch strategies. Now you don't have to do all of these, but these are just examples. You can kind of figure out what works best for you and also based off of what platforms that you're using. So let's say your launch strategy, you are posting on Instagram. How many times per day are you going to post on Instagram? I would say anywhere from 1 to 2 times per day. Once is good for me just because I don't want to feel like I'm just selling to somebody. But even when you're posting on social media, don't just post like, hey, purchase my product. Like, no, you have to talk about the results, like talk about those pain points that we just went over, like use those as social media copy captions for your post. Don't just sell, like actually provide content and kind of talk about the results that they're going to experience if they invest in what you're selling. So Instagram and Facebook, I would say 1 to 2 times per day, and you can do like a morning and an evening or an afternoon and night. Figure out what your best times to post is on social media. You can figure those out by using your analytics on those platforms. For Instagram, I use only poll analytics to figure out the best times to post. Next is make sure that you're utilizing Facebook groups. So I say 3 to 5 times per week. And that's only because you can be in multiple Facebook groups. And let's say you're in 5 groups, you can post in 5 different ones once a week. Not all 5 each day, just Facebook group 1 on Mondays, Facebook group 2 on Tuesdays, so on and so forth. So with posting in other Facebook groups, that's allowing you to be able to leverage someone else's platform, because if you're in a Facebook group, chances are there's someone in there who is your target client or is a part of your target audience. So make sure that you guys are utilizing Facebook groups. Don't go and just sign up and join like 10,000 Facebook groups and you're overwhelmed with all the notifications and trying to be active in all of them. Try to find your top 3 to 5 that are relative to your business and relative to your target audience. So next is Twitter. So I have 4 to 6 times per day. And the only reason I say that you can post more on Twitter than any other platform is because literally when you send a tweet out, on average, it's probably going to last for about 13 minutes. So just because you posted something on Twitter doesn't mean that people are necessarily going to see it at that time. So it's totally fine to post more on Twitter than any other social media platform. With Pinterest, I say 3 to 10 times per day. I try to do 10 pins on Pinterest per day. So that's not necessarily you pinning 10 pins of your own content. You can at least do 1 of your content a day. That's if you have a blog post or if you have a webinar, something that people can sign up to or read. Outside of your one that you're posting, you can pin other things, and that's going to draw people to your Pinterest page, and they will start to follow you, and they'll start to follow your content, and they'll start to subscribe to your email list. So I think I have an opt-in actually on my Pinterest page for people to sign up for. So don't feel like you have to pin like 10 of your pieces of content a day. So next is podcast. So if you're doing a launch strategy, try to be a guest on someone else's podcast, especially if you're launching something that's huge. Like you're pitching for someone else's podcast to be your guest interview. 1, you're able to tap into their platform. 2, you're able to show your expertise to another audience, which in turn is going to be able to draw them back to your platform or your website. The next one is guest blog posts or your own blog post. So if you're doing those once a week, depending on what you're launching, sometimes I may blog 1 or 2 times per week, or I'll do like an email series, and we'll kind of get into that one in a second. So blog post or be a guest blogger on someone else's platform so you can kind of tap into their audience. Periscope series we talked about. With Periscope series, you can, depending on what you're launching, you can do anywhere from 3 to 5 times per week. You can also just do a monthly Periscope series where you're just scoping once per week. It literally all depends on what it is that you're launching. If you're doing 5 times per week, I would just recommend just doing a 1-week Periscope series because nobody wants to get notifications like literally every day from you scoping for a whole month. So you don't want to like drive your audience crazy with scoping all the time. So figure out your Periscope series strategy for that. Next is webinars. So depending on what you're launching, one webinar a month is perfectly fine. And then if you're doing email series, so I actually do email series when I do webinars, and it's anywhere from 3 to 5 emails that I'll send out. And like I said, it depends. So let's say you're launching a 12-week course, you may can do up to 7 emails, and that's not like 7 emails within a week. You have to figure out what your launch time frame is. And those 7 emails are going to include, one, you're kind of prepping people for what you're going to talk about. So let's say that you're going to do a 12-week course on, we can use the same example on goal setting. So you may, do a blog post or send an email out on 15 common goal setting mistakes. So that's something that I've sent out before. So you're kind of prepping them for what you're getting ready to sell. And then you're going to start your pitching emails for your selling. And then once you've launched, you're going to make sure that you have follow-up emails that are going out as well. Because like I said, just because you launch and send something out, you still have to continue to follow up. So some common mistakes that you may have been making. You probably have not identified who your target audience is. I had a call with someone this week, and they were, posting on social media, but their social media following was not growing, and they couldn't understand why. And it's because what they were putting out was not for their target audience. So that's why it's so important to figure out who you're trying to attract so that you can put out content that's relative to what they need. So next, make sure that you're actually speaking to your ideal client. And that's why I said that you can reach out to them to kind of figure out what it is that they need. Another common mistake is that you probably don't have a landing page or a sales page. So if you're selling something and you just gear people to your website and it's not a direct link to the product or service, some people, you have to grab their attention right away. They can't be clicking, trying to figure out where your shop is or your online store, or is it under courses? You got to make it plain and simple for them. You have to lay everything out. So for example, when you guys signed up for this Worklab, there was a landing page for it. I identified who it was for, what you were going to learn, and how to sign up. Simple. Another mistake could be that you are lacking detail in your product description. And with that, it depends on what you're selling. So let's say, for example, you're selling coffee mugs or tumblers or something like that. You don't need a detailed product description for that. It's a mug that you're selling, and whatever the caption is on it is fine. You don't have to go into super detail about product descriptions like that. Another common mistake is that your results are not clear. So you have this grand product or service, but your potential buyer has no idea what they're going to get out of it if they purchase or invest into it. So make sure that you're making it very, very clear what they're going to get out of it if they invest. And another thing is that you're making it too difficult for them to sign up or purchase. So that's kind of the example that I use. You're just putting your website, you need to put the exact link directly to that specific product, not just your website, and then they have to go and figure out where it's set within your website. So some strategies that you must have in place. So you have to make sure that your sales page is enticing and that it converts. You also have to let your audience know that you understand their struggles. So going back to pain points, so you kind of know what they're struggling with. So you're going to kind of speak to what they're struggling with. So when they read what you're selling, they can be like, wow, she's literally in my head. She knows exactly what I'm struggling with, and she has the solution to how she's going to help me. Another thing is make sure that you're telling them that you have the solution to the problem and what the solution is. So like I said, make sure that you're kind of getting inside their head and kind of talking as if you were them. Another thing is making sure that you're making yourself known as the expert. Now, just because you may have just learned something, don't go trying to say that, you're an expert and it's something that, you kind of just learned maybe a couple weeks ago. Make sure that you're actually teaching things that you know and that you are comfortable, with teaching and coaching someone else with. And also make sure that you are showing proof that you can actually do what you say you can do. So if you have launched this product before, or if you've done like some beta testing, get some testimonials from whoever that you work with and put those within your sales page, and make sure that you're including your buy buttons on your sales page as well. So some other must-haves is making sure that you're very clear on exactly what it is that you're offering, and make sure that you are confident in your prices. So it's totally fine for you to put your prices on your sales page. You can kind of put it at the end. Try not to put it at the beginning, because what you want to do first is grab their attention on what it is that they're struggling with, what it is that you can help them, the results that they're going to see, and the solutions, and then you can kind of hit them with the price at the end. But make sure that you're confident in your pricing. Also, when you're selling, if you have a package that's $1,400, you're going to own that package as if it's $400 or more, and you're going to tell them why it's priced at that much and the value that you're able to provide for that product or service. So next, as far as tracking your progress, so this is very important because a lot of times people will create these grand goals and December 31st gets here and you're trying to figure out why you didn't meet your mark. So if you have not been achieving your goals, it's probably because you haven't been tracking them. So we're going to talk about tracking your revenue goals. So when you do track your goals, that allows you to be able to adjust when needed. So let's say that you didn't meet your mark in February. So now you know that you kind of need to possibly double up, or you need to sell more items in February or March in order to make your goal. If you wait until December 31st and you're just tracking your progress throughout the year, then it's very clear that you are probably going to miss your mark. So tracking your progress also allows you to help to eliminate failure. So you're actually just being proactive and tracking, and I recommend tracking on a weekly basis. Tracking on a daily basis is a bit much, but if you feel that you have time to do that, you can. But at least on a weekly basis is good. That's why I say you have to break down your goals all the way down to daily and weekly, but make sure that you're tracking on a weekly basis at least. So let's see. Also make sure that goals is going to tell you if you need to work harder or not. So like I said, if you missed your mark one week, you know you kind of need to step up your game the following week. And let's say that you exceed your goal one month, maybe you won't have to work as hard the following month. So what are some tools that you need in order to execute your revenue goals? So Asana is one, and I'll show you guys an example of how I track in Asana. So Asana I use for tracking, as well as like a plug and play process that I've streamlined. So that way, every time I launch something, I'm not like literally starting from scratch and spending a ton of time. I can literally use the same copy that I used from the previous launch. Buffer is another tool you can use to execute your revenue goals. So I use Buffer for Twitter. Another tool is OnlyPulp. So I schedule my social media in OnlyPulp. And I love OnlyPulp because you don't have to worry about getting push notifications. So if you use like Latergram or Hootsuite, you'll schedule, then they'll send a notification to your phone that says, hey, are you sure you want to post this at this time? You say yes, it's going to copy and paste over to Instagram. You got to publish it. Like, it's just too much. Like if I schedule something, I want it to schedule and published on its own. And that's what OnlyPulp does. So I schedule my content on a weekly basis and it pushes it out for me. And you can also schedule your comments as well. So I put 30 hashtags within my comments, so I can literally do all of that in OnlyPulp on a Sunday, and it's going to push everything out for the whole week. Another tool that you need is your email marketing system. So whether it's MailChimp or MailerLite or ConvertKit or ActiveCampaign, whatever it is that you're using. So I currently use MailChimp. I'm testing out MailerLite at the moment. So when you guys signed up for this Worklab, there was a landing page. So I know a lot of people are using lead pages for their landing pages. Lead pages is like $25 a month for like their lowest plan. MailerLite has free landing pages. They also have free automation. So with MailChimp, I actually have to pay on one of the plans for automation. MailerLite, you literally can do everything for free. So I'm honestly thinking about switching over to MailerLite. I'm kind of testing it out with this Worklab that you guys signed up for. So those are two that you can use for email marketing. And another tool that I use is the Success and Action Planner. So in order for you to achieve your revenue goals, you have to in order to achieve your revenue goals consistently with as less stress as possible, you have to have systems and processes in place to implement and execute your strategy. The only downside is that you can't send PDFs or files via MailerLite. You can include links though, right? So like when I sent, well, this wasn't a file that I sent out, but I am sending you guys a freebie file with the replay. So you can't send out files or PDFs, but you can create a link, right? So let's say, or a button, you can include a button and include the link for them to download. Yep, so you can do that. So that's an alternate route. Let's see. I know I have like 1,000 tabs open. This is how I work. I talked about this in my in live office hours yesterday, and I have failed to close all these tabs a day later. But anyways, so this is Asana. So you guys have to create a plug and play process. So yes, you can. It can be a direct file included in the email. It will have to be a link in your actual website. Okay, great. So this is my plug and play process. So I did a ThinkPad session back in December, and these is one of my plug-in processes that I use. So this is everything that I need to complete in order to make this ThinkPad session successful. So these are all the steps I have to take. I have the due dates when they are due. So how are you going to track it? So everything has a date. Let's see, December probably. So everything's like listed, like when it needs to be completed, what time it needs to be completed. I left some stuff open so you guys can see, like if it's overdue, it's gonna be in red and it's gonna send a reminder to your email letting you know that, hey, this is due at such and such time. Then it's gonna send you another email that is, you know, approaching the time that it's due, and they'll send you another one that says it's overdue. So this is what I use for tracking. So the example for making sure that you're tracking, I use Asana. So you can track your progress. So I left some open so you guys can actually see this. So I have completed 34 of my tasks, and I have 19 that are still remaining. So let's go to my list. So when you have completed something, you can just click on it. So I'll click on this one. It should say completed. Yep, so it'll go away. So that's done. So that's how you are tracking everything. So literally I have every single thing that I need to do. So let me show y'all this example as far as the strategy. So blog post and email strategy. So we kind of went through this a little bit. So in this particular ThinkPad session, what time is it? Okay, so in this particular ThinkPad session, I did 3 blog posts. I sent out 3 emails. So within my blog posts, I had 7 reasons why you fail at being consistent, 15 biggest mistakes made when goal setting, 5 ways to avoid distractions and get more done. So I'm pushing out free content so that way when I do my masterclass, people kind of have an idea of what it is that I'm putting out and what it is that I'm capable of teaching you guys. So aside from blog posts, like you still have to be able to utilize your email list. So this particular example, I sent out 3 emails, and it's not 3 emails saying, hey, sign up for my ThinkPad session. Hey, sign up for my $97 masterclass. No, so I'm sending out valuable content. So it's kind of similar to the blog post, but I'm reaching them directly. So if they follow my blog, great. If they're on my email list, they're getting double free content. So within the email, it is 4 reasons why you haven't reached your goals, don't make this huge mistake next year, and how I have achieved every goal that I set out this year. So that's when I say like email series as far as your launch strategy. So that's how I track everything. So in order to achieve your revenue goals consistently with as less stress as possible, you have to have systems and processes in place to implement and execute your strategy. So now it is time for you to execute, right? So this is where most people tend to fail. They have gotten all of the tools and strategies that they need to execute. And now they have no idea how to create their own plug and play process, or they lack the ability to be fully committed to achieving their revenue goals, or they have a strategy that they have implemented, but it's just not working for them. So if this is you, if you have no idea where to start after we have gone through all of this information, or you have no idea how to create your own step-by-step process that is going to work directly for whatever product or service it is that you're launching, or maybe you feel that you need more one-on-one assistance, and depending on what I'm working on, like I'm like that, like I can sit here and take all these notes, but then when I go back to try to execute, I have like a ton more questions, specifically for whatever the product or service it is that I'm launching or whatever content that I'm working on. So I'll go ahead and I'll invest in whoever's teaching the program or the course, whatever it is that I'm struggling with, and get that extra help. So that way I'm not sitting here twiddling my thumbs or trying to, figure it out on my own, wasting countless hours when someone else already has a strategy. All I have to do is work with them and they're going to teach me what I need to do. So also, if this is you, how will you know if you are implementing the right strategy? So I am actually hosting a revenue plan masterclass. So within this masterclass, you are going to be able to identify all of your low, medium, high, and premium products for the remainder of this year. You are going to be able to create products and services that actually sell. So there's going to be no more launching products and services, and launch day is crickets. You are going to learn how to create sales copy that converts. So you can't just say, hey, I have this product on how to lose weight in 30 days. I think it's great. You should buy it. That's not going to convert your subscribers over to buyers. So there are 10 strategies that you need to include for sales copy. So we will go over those so you can make sure that you are including them within your product and service descriptions and or landing and sales pages. You will also learn how to set up processes so your products will sell for you. So I kind of explain that with the whole email system. And in addition to launch date, after your launch period is over with, you still need to have systems and processes in place so that those products are selling for you while you are working on other things. I will also be teaching you guys how to strategize using the CARE model. So what the CARE model is a strategy as far as content, audience, revenue, and engagement. And another thing we will discuss is a step-by-step process that's going to take you from planning to execution to tracking. So with this masterclass, you will have lifetime access to the masterclass and slides. You will have access to the Success in Action Planner. You will get 1 free month access to the members only community. So all of the access that I mentioned in the beginning of this Worklab, you'll have access to that for a whole free month. You will have access to a revenue goals spreadsheet. So I know we kind of went like high level today, like we're literally going to be plugging numbers into a spreadsheet. And I'm also going to be providing you with a revenue goals tracker so that you can track on a weekly basis. You will also have a social media strategy spreadsheet so you can know exactly what strategies that you need to be putting in place, what social media platforms you need to be promoting on or marketing on. And you are also going to have a plug and play Asana strategy. So I kind of showed you guys an example of what I use. I'm going to give you guys a plug and play Asana strategy that you can plug in and you can literally use for all of your launch strategies. So you're getting all of that today for only $47. So it's value at $327. So you're saving a total of $280. So that is basically like I'm giving you guys this for free. So this offer does end at midnight. So you have until 11:59 tonight to purchase this for $47. And after that, it is going to go up to its regular price of $97. And for the $47 value, there are only 20 spots available at this price. And then once the 20 spots are gone, if it's before midnight or after, it's going to go back up to its original price. So you can go ahead and register at bit.ly Revenue Masterclass, and it'll just be a one-time payment of $47. Or if you decide that you want to wait until tomorrow or another day, it'll go up to its regular rate of $97. Now, the masterclass will be next Saturday at 8 a.m. So it's going to be live. If you can't make it, you will have access to the replay. And if you can't make it, I am allowing you to be able to send in your questions, and I will answer them before the weekend is over. So it will be 4 hours. So I know today we kind of went high level as far as strategies and plans and execution that you need to put in place. The masterclass will be up to 4 hours. So we're going to be talking in great detail and actually planning out your revenue goals and your strategies and executing them. So does anybody have any questions on anything that I have gone over today? Anything that you feel that you missed or you thought we would talk about and we didn't cover? I am open to Q&A. So 8 to 12, yes, next Saturday for the masterclass. Yep, next weekend. So next Saturday, it'll be from 8 to 12. So all masterclasses are always up to 4 hours. How long do you have access to the masterclass if you can't make it to the session on Saturday? So if you purchase, you'll have lifetime access. So if you can't make it, you'll still have access to all the slides. If people ask questions during the live during the live masterclass, you'll have access to everything. So if you can't tune in live, it's not like you're going to miss anything. The only thing that you'll miss is the opportunity to ask questions live, but I am allowing you to be able to email me your questions and I will answer them. Yep, you guys have any other questions? I'm actually sending you guys, you'll get this email with the replay. So I'm sending you out, you'll get 3 freebies. So I'm sending you out a revenue goals sheet. I'm sending you an email list sheet so you can kind of figure out your lead magnets and your freebies that you're going to use. And I'm also sending you out a 2-page social media strategy sheet. So you're going to get a total of 4 sheets today that you can start using. And then in the masterclass, we're going to have a ton of spreadsheets and things that we'll be using. Can you go back over how much of each do you need to sell? The breakdown or the one that has a conversion slide on it? So this one, how much do you need to sell of each, is literally breaking down your 3 products and services that you're going to offer. So in the masterclass, you didn't understand the revenue formula. Okay, so in the masterclass, what we're going to do is we're going to pick 3 products and 3 services that you're going to offer for the year. And we're going to figure out what your price points are going to be. So we talked about low, medium, high, and premium. And so let's say that your goal is $100,000 that you're trying to achieve for the year. You need to figure out how you're going to achieve that amount. So you have these 3 products and you have these 3 services. So in order to reach $100,000, you've priced them at these points. So your low, medium, high, and premium prices. So you need to figure out how many of each do you need to sell in order to reach your annual goal. So in order to reach your annual goal, these are how many of each product and service you need to sell for each item. That's going to be your total for each item. And once you total up all of your products and all of your services, that's going to be your annual revenue goal. So the conversion slide. Okay, so we use the example of $100,000 is your revenue goal, right? So on a monthly basis, in order to achieve that $100,000, you have to make $8,334 each month, right? So in order to make $8,334 each month, okay, the conversion, okay. So with the conversion, so let's say that you launched a product last month and you had 100 people on your email list and you did this launch strategy and only 3 people purchased your product, right? So your conversion rate is 3%. So you had 100 people, only 3 people purchased. So you're dividing that 100 total subscribers and the 3 people that purchase, and that's going to give you your conversion rate, which is 3%. So the reason why you need to figure out your conversion rate is so that you can know how many people that you need to have on your list so that you can actually obtain that total purchase buyer amount. So you're literally, to figure out your conversion, you can do it 2 ways. You can take your total subscribers that you have, whatever product that you launched previously, figure out how many people purchased compared to how many are on your list. Okay, you got it? Yep. How many are on your list? And if you do it the other way, if you're using your page view, so you can go to Google Analytics and you can see like how many people are viewing your page each month. And then let's say you launched a product that month, how many people actually bought compared to how many people viewed your page. So once you figure out, once you do this formula or calculation and you figure out your subscribers or your number of page views, then you know how many people you need to be converting over on your email list or how many people that you need to be converting over to your site in order to reach that goal for your monthly page views. So like sometimes people just stop here, like they know they need to make $8,300, their product is priced at $97 and they know they need to get 86 people. But of the people that you have on your list, like you need to figure out what your list is so that you can reach those 86 people. You can't just hope and pray that you get 86 people. Like if you don't have the amount of subscribers on your list, you're not going to be able to convert over. Does anybody else have any other questions? So I'll be emailing you guys out the freebie, which is the revenue goal sheet, the email list, and the 2-page social media strategy. And then within the masterclass, we'll have an in-depth spreadsheet where you can literally plug in your numbers and your conversion rates and everything. All right, if you guys don't have any other questions, I don't want to hold you all. So you'll get an email shortly with the replay. So this replay will be available for the next 24 hours. And the masterclass you can purchase for only $47 by tonight at midnight. After that, it goes up to $97, and registration will close once the Worklab is either sold out or it is going to close the Friday before we actually go live next Saturday. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope that this was super helpful. And you guys have this up until tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So I will see you guys later. If you're in the Facebook community, you guys can always pop in questions there as well. So that is all. You guys have a good night. And I will talk to you guys later.